All right. Welcome to the Movie Tweaker episode 6. I got Daniel with me. How's it going, Daniel?
It's going good.
Pretty good. So how you been, man? You been doing pretty good?
Yeah, I've been all right.
All right. I guess we'll start it off before we get into the whole Walking Dead thing. Have you seen any movies lately? Did you get a chance to see The Witch?
No, not yet.
I'm hearing great things about it. Some
Yeah.
people are even comparing it to the Babadook. I didn't see it yet either, so we'll save that. But I just heard great things about it. Have you heard anything about it, or?
No, everything has been great. Nothing, no bad reviews.
Yeah, it's one of the movies I didn't expect it to be good, and now it's, I guess, turning out to be a pretty good movie. I just saw some of the trailers and I was like, they were promoting it though. That was the weird thing. Like when you watch a trailer, you're like, oh, okay, well, what could It just, to me, it seemed like it could be a okay or a bomb of a movie. Like it could be no
Right.
good, but it's actually turning out to be a one of them sleeper hits. So,
Right.
so that's some news I've heard with that movie. But I didn't get to see it yet. So when I do get a chance to see it, or you get to see it, we'll definitely talk about it. Any movies you have seen?
Yeah, I've seen 3 over the past week. First, Zoolander 2, Ben Stiller. It was not good. It's the regular comedy sequel that no one really asked for. Which I would this sequel felt like it should have been done maybe 4 or 3 years after, not 15 years after the first movie. So it definitely there is just cameo after cameo of random celebrities, and the story is so out there. It's 2006 comedy. I really do, and Ben Stiller directed this movie, and it's not as bad as what Adam Sandler has been doing recently. Like I wouldn't say Ben Stiller's the Adam Sandler. He has a few good. Tropic Thunder was probably Ben Stiller's last great movie, but yeah, it's if you like the first Zoolander, then you'll probably like this, but you won't love it.
Yeah, it looks like a cash in. It's kind of like Dumb and Dumber. Like the first one was good, and then they waited like years to release Dumb and Dumber 2.
Right.
That was like the same thing. No, I don't think it's as long as, I think Zoolander wasn't. Zoolander 2 wasn't as long as Dumb and Dumber took to release their sequel, but it's kind of like the same situation.
Right.
Yeah, Ben Stiller. Lately, a lot of his movies just have been going downhill. I agree with you. I don't think it's like the Adam Sandler thing that's going on. Adam Sandler has literally came out, I heard on TV, and has said that he's just like pretty much cashing in on his name.
Right.
But I don't think Ben Stiller's doing that. I just think Ben Stiller's making some bad movies. That's all there is to it.
It's true.
So, what would you rate that movie if you had to give it a score? Or on your review, what did you score that?
I give it a 4.8 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Like again, if you like the first Zoolander, definitely watch it, but not in theaters whatsoever. Just wait for rental.
Yeah, Ben Stiller, like I said, his movies just haven't been. What was the other one? One of the other ones he had released not too long ago was The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Did you ever get a chance to see that?
I saw it in theaters. I didn't like it.
Yeah, and then it wasn't any good. I figured it wasn't gonna be any good. Then Tropic Thunder, Dodgeball, his good ones were like, There's Something About Mary. That kind of like put him on the map.
Right.
Meet the Fuckers is probably one of his, Meet the Parents and Meet the Fuckers. That's probably one of his all-time best movies. I like The Heartbreak Kid. I thought that was funnier than hell. Along Came Polly. He has some hits, that guy, but he's just in a slump. Right. That's all there is to it. He's in the dumps right now. But yeah, I knew Zoolander 2 was not going to be good. I didn't really find the first one to be that great, so I didn't have high expectations for the second one. What other movies did you see?
I saw the new chick flick movie, How to Be Single, with the girl from 50 Shades of Grey, Dakota Johnson, and Rebel Wilson. It was better than Zoolander 2. I saw 2 on the same day. So a few hours later, I saw that one, How to Be Single. It wasn't bad. Like the first hour, it's like an hour and 50 minutes, the movie, and the first hour was good. And then it's almost where you want the story to finish because it gets so repetitive where you just want it to end. And I had to sit 45 minutes or 50 minutes sitting down wanting it to end so bad. It went on too long, the movie. I mean, she goes back to her boyfriend, then she goes back to the other guy, then she made a mistake, goes back to the other guy. I mean, it's back and forth, and it got annoying.
Isn't that the worst in movies where you just want it? That's one thing I don't care for the theater when you go see a movie and you go see a shit movie and you're just stuck watching that unless you get up and leave. And very rarely will anybody ever get up and leave a movie theater. I don't think I've ever done it, but there's been many a times I wanted to.
Yeah, same.
So, no. Let me rephrase that. There was a movie that I got up and left. Sherlock Holmes. I think it was the second one. I got up and left the theater. That movie sucked so bad. I couldn't stand it.
Wow.
I like Robert Downey Jr., but that was a horrible series of movies. I don't even know why I went. I think it was my girlfriend at the time. She wanted to see it. I didn't. I remember the first one. It was so bad. I was like, and I fell asleep. I guess this was funny. Like I was in the theater. I guess I was like at that. Sometimes I'll snore. Like it happens every so often. Like and just I guess that time when I was sleeping, like I was snoring in the movie theater, and she got me the hell out of there. She said, "We gotta go." I couldn't help it. My movie was putting me to fucking sleep. That movie put me to sleep. But yeah, we got up and left on that one. But that was the only movie that ever happened with. But any other movies? Did we talk about? Did you see Deadpool? Did we talk about that? No, we didn't get. How was Deadpool?
Well, I've seen it 2 times. I saw it once on Thursday night. I didn't feel good that night when I saw it in IMAX. So when I first walked out, I didn't think it was good. I thought it was just like, all right, boring. I mean, I was bored throughout the movie, actually. But that's because just how sick I was, it changes your mood. But then the second showing, when I saw it, it's just epic how amazing it was and like the scale of action. And Ryan Reynolds is amazing in there. It's a well-made movie because the guys who wrote Zombieland wrote this movie. And it's funny. I mean, I didn't laugh I don't think I laughed like 2 times when I first saw it. I didn't laugh much. So I laughed my ass off the second time. It's definitely, and it made a lot of money because the first, the R-rated, it's not the first R-rated superhero movie, but, it's a big comeback for it. They want to make Wolverine 3 R-rated now and all that. So it definitely dirty, a lot of, jokes and nudity, and I liked it a lot. I thought it was fun. I actually, when I walked out the first night, I said it was a 6 out of 10. And then the second showing, it went to a 9 out of 10. So it definitely boosted.
But is it true, though, how people say the first 20 minutes doesn't hold up to the rest of the movie? It's so action-packed, over the top. That a lot of people are saying it's a good movie, but the beginning of the movie sets a high bar.
Well, when I first saw it, that's how I was feeling, because I remember when you said that, when we did the other, a few weeks ago or a week ago, you mentioned that the first 20 minutes is basically the high action. And when I was watching it the first time, I was feeling like, because it does open up in an action scene and it picks up from there, and then it goes to it opens, he's Deadpool, and then it goes back to him being not Deadpool yet, like him. So it does go back and forth. I did feel that the first time, but when I saw it the second time and I was in a better, you're just interested in the story, honestly. So him not being in the suit yet was interesting. I mean, I didn't feel bored whatsoever the second time. So it just depends if you're there really for the action, or if you're interested in the character Wade Wilson, then you're fine. I mean, there's like 3-4 action scenes in here in total. I think 3 action scenes, and the choreography's fine, the effects are fine. I mean, it's not the first 20 minutes. I mean, it's all fine. I mean, all the action scenes keep you going. It doesn't, I like the last action scene a little bit more than the first action scene. So it's all good. It's balanced well.
Huh. All right. So this is a good movie, huh?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've heard it. To me, it just seems like one of them movies I'm seeing with certain people, like Chris Stuckman. I saw his review; it was fantastic. And then it's like some people, if you're not a Deadpool fan, they didn't see it any different from any other superhero movies. But I don't know. I'm seeing that's the type of reviews I've been seeing on this. What I've been gathering. I'll see it myself, and I'll definitely do a review once I see it. I'm gonna see it when it comes on whatever. But I just ain't gonna go to the theater. I don't know that much about Deadpool to be that interested, but I am interested in the movie.
Right.
He's not like Batman to me or anything. But it does seem interesting. But I am happy that the fans got a movie that they wanted instead of Hollywood doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So so you scored Deadpool a 9 out of 10?
Yeah, 9.1 out of 10. But I don't see it as an A+. I mean, it wasn't amazing. Like, it was awesome, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, the best superhero movie ever. So
not meaning to cut you off, but do you think Deadpool will beat Batman versus Superman?
Like in money wise, or
no, and like just overall, will it be a better movie?
I mean, they're two different movies. One's more darker, one's comedy. So
it's a superhero movie. They're all like, it's pretty much. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of people saying. I know people are saying that they think Deadpool's going to be better. Well, even both ways, a better movie and better in the box office. And then you have some people saying no on both ends. What do you think?
I mean, for some reason, I'm thinking Deadpool is going to be a better, because Batman v Superman's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. This was only an hour and 40 minutes. So I feel like Deadpool's going to end up. I feel Batman v Superman's going to make more money than Deadpool, but for sure Deadpool's going to be probably a better experience in the theater. That's just me there.
Yeah, but I would say with Batman versus Superman, the reason it is long, there's a lot to cover in that movie. It's not just covering the story of Deadpool. You got Wonder Woman, you got all kinds of shit in that movie. Right. I don't know. I just I have to see both of them. I'm rooting on the Batman side, Batman and Superman side, but hopefully we'll see. I mean, the one thing I do like about Deadpool, they're doing other characters. But I also like that in the Batman Superman. I like that Wonder Woman's in there. I like that they're doing I like to see other characters than the normal ones always all the time.
Right.
So that is cool. So okay. Any other movies you've seen?
Just I didn't see it in the theaters. It was a 30th anniversary Pretty in Pink. I saw that in theater, which was my first time seeing Pretty in Pink. And
okay.
I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was. It's amazing to see 80s film on theater and the big screen again.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Of course, I mean, John Hughes, fantastic writer. I'm surprised I didn't. I mean, I've seen 16 Candles, Breakfast Club. I mean, all that. It's amazing. But Pretty in Pink, yeah. I mean, it was good. I was falling asleep in a part of the movie, but that's because I'm just tired on a Wednesday afternoon. But other than that,
Molly Ringwald, she was in it, right?
Yeah, she's the main.
She was a big thing of the '80s. She was like one of the big things.
Yeah, she's amazing. But that's it. That's all the movies I saw this week.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like pretty good week of seeing some movies. Yeah, I don't go to the theater as much as you. I usually see them on video or whatever. Movies have to be really good for me to go because I don't know, the whole theater experience for me is I don't know. It's not like what it used to be. I don't know. I remember I was watching a video somebody was talking one day. So one of the bigger YouTubers, and he was saying it's like more like renting a seat now. It's not, the movie experience is so much different than what it used to be back in the day.
Right.
I don't know, now as just so many movies come. I mean, it's crazy. But let's get on. You said you wanted to talk about The Flash season 1. Let's talk about, this is our little superhero part in the two. I want to cover the Batman Superman, the new trailer that they showed. We didn't get to talk about that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of that? Do you think that was a better trailer than the first one? Let's cover that first.
Yeah, well, then the second trailer, you mean the spoilery, like Doomsday and all that trailer?
The first trailer they showed off that kind of spoiled everything. This new trailer seemed to be a lot better. The one with Batman coming in the beginning, like when he gets dropped off by the bat plane, and he just goes in there and kicking ass. Like, that was pretty cool.
It was a great trailer. The only thing I didn't like about the new trailer was, well, it's the final trailer, was the middle piece when Lex Luthor was like, "Oh, that's a syllable, like 3-word syllable for little minds." Like, we've already seen that footage before a long time ago, and that was the middle part was basically where it kind of killed it for me, where I was just bored. But for sure, the Batman beginning, and then once it showed Superman pushing Batman and the fighting, once it started that was all great. Wonder Woman jumping in the air, we get to see a little bit of her ability. It was, again, the middle part just kind of bored me, where I was like, how we've already seen all this footage, and the music was kind of off for me, how they were using the music.
Yeah,
everyone said. What was that?
No, I thought my part that I thought was the coolest, that I really liked the trailer for, is when he stopped Superman. that type of shit, like, that's the best. I love it because he looks at him all crazy. Because I mean, I liked it. I think that should have been the trailer they used instead of just spoiling the whole damn movie like they do every other movie. I liked the first trailer, but the second one I would have thought would have been better if they used that. And I do agree with you. They used the same footage, but it was more like they're fixing their fuck ups. Like, that's what that trailer was. I do think it was a good trailer, but I do agree with you. They showed this. It didn't make me bored or anything. I'm not saying that, but I do agree with you. They shouldn't use the same thing. They should, make something completely new. But we're in it. Really, to be honest with you, I don't think they should show but one trailer. It shouldn't be, they fucked up with the first one. Leave it at that. We don't need a bunch of trailers ruining the movies. You know what I'm saying? But that's the day and age we live in now.
Right.
Trailers ruin movies, period.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that, like, going back to Deadpool, do you think that trailer ruined that movie at all?
No, they kept it minimum to, I mean, they didn't show, like, they didn't even show really the final action pieces in the trailer. They've only shown little tidbits, and that's what, even the marketing wasn't even part of the movie. It was just Ryan Reynolds in his suit talking about stuff. I mean, that was how the marketing was. So, yeah, Deadpool definitely, they didn't spoil nothing in the trailers, but with this, like Doomsday, when they showed Doomsday, I'm glad they didn't show Doomsday in the new trailer. That was kind of a good thing that they didn't show more footage of that. They just showed Batman, heavy on Batman. Because, they have to introduce the new Batman and Ben Affleck, and, they got to do more of him now. But, again, Deadpool didn't spoil really much of anything, honestly.
Okay. All right. And going back to Superman and Batman, if you had to rate that, the new trailer, what would you give it from a 1 to a 10?
I'd give it a 9 out of a 10. I thought it was a great way to open the action. It had that Batman Arkham feeling to it, of the fighting, the choreography, and then, I mean, we got to see, like you said, him stop the punch of Superman. And I saw that at Deadpool. I saw it on the theater screen in IMAX, and I mean, how it looked was so beautiful, and the way Superman looks like what's going on. That's a great way to end the trailer for sure.
Yeah, I thought so. I'd give it I'm with you, a 9 out of 10. I liked it. Same score. It was I just loved that ending. I thought it was cool, and I liked in the one trailer, like the short trailer when the Batmobile swinging around and hits Superman. His lights over there. Like it's gonna be fun when they fight. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Somebody in the comment section, one of my subscribers, One Piece fanboy, he was asking us to talk about Civil War. Has there been anything new with Civil War that they've shown lately?
No, just a magazine cover.
Just a magazine cover. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's going to be a really good movie too. But we did discuss the trailer on that in past podcasts. But yeah, there was a new cover for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, and there's a rumor that one of the actors we're talking about, like in a podcast, a British podcast, the guy who plays the Falcon, he mentioned that Mark Ruffalo was in the movie, aka the Hulk, and
okay.
So I don't know if he spoiled or he didn't know what to say, but he mentioned that Mark Ruffalo was in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm interested in that. I want to see it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't see. I just saw the last trailer for it. We've talked about that. I don't want to bring that all up again. But there was a new cover for a magazine, and what you just mentioned, but I didn't even know that. But it is going to be a really good movie. I think that's going to be a good one. I'm glad. I did not like the past. I love the first Iron Man movie, but the last two, I just didn't care for them. I thought the third one was better than the second one. The second one just could have been so much better. It was like, I don't even know. Like, they could have done so much more with Mickey Rourke's character.
Yeah.
But they decided not to. And that's how, I'm hoping, I think this will be really good.
Right.
I noticed they're doing that now. It's going to be like a trend. You're going to see superheroes versus superheroes, and they're going to be doing more of them movies. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Civil War movie, Iron Man versus Captain America. Going into the Flash now. I've seen all of season 1. You've seen all season 1. That's what we're going to talk this time. What's your thoughts of season 1? Let you kick it off with this. Like, did you think season 1 was what was the good points and the bad points?
I thought that season 1 was a great season, definitely, because again, it came out. What was it? When season 3 of Arrow was coming out. I think that was when the same time was going on, season 3. And apparently, I mean, Arrow's on its 3rd season, and then you have a new show. And the new show is beating the show that's been on for a few years. The first season's beating, you know how Flash is new and it's beating Arrow out of the ratings and out of the critics and the reviews. That was really something new.
Well, one thing though, you have to give one thing over Flash and Arrow. What I'm noticing now, I'm in season 3 of Arrow.
Yeah.
Flash has like a bigger budget, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, because I can see the special effects are like big, like way over fucking Arrow. So that's kind of, it's like, it's kind of not fair in a way too. I mean, I know, but I'm just saying like I don't know what the issue is there, why that is, but I mean, I think Arrow's a really good show. I'm watching season 3 right now, and I don't think so far it's as bad as everybody says. But like with Arrow, I'm not trying to go into too much Arrow, but Arrow's problem is everybody knows who he is, and everybody's becoming a superhero. Like, like everybody he meets and starts coming in contact with becomes a fucking superhero. Or they know his identity, and it's kind of like Flash is like that too, to a certain extent. Like everybody knows his identity. That's the only thing I have a problem with both shows. But Arrow's worse with that than Flash that I've seen so far. And I think I'm like season 2, episode 4 or 6, somewhere around 4. I think 4. I think it's 4. But going back to the Flash, say what you're saying. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, it's good. I think the one actor out of the Flash season 1 that really made it for me. I mean, everyone's good in there. Cisco, Caitlin, they're all good. They're funny. You have the comedy and everything. But the man who plays Harrison Wells, Tom Cavanaugh, he's the one that made the show for me like fantastic. I think Tom Cavanaugh, and now we could discuss spoilers of season 1, right? I mean, now that you got Harrison Wells, and he's not even really Harrison Wells. He's Eobard Thawne, and when you got an actor trying to, he's playing Eobard Thawne, but yet he's trying to play Harrison Wells at the same time. That's how amazing like his acting was, and where he's playing double. I thought that was just genius acting, and Tom Cavanaugh's a fantastic actor. And Henry Allen, the guy who plays Barry's dad in there as well, the original Flash. He's every scene he's with Barry, it's emotional. Like every single scene. I remember just crying when seeing it because he's fantastic in the gel scenes. So yeah, the budget's bigger. I mean, there's moments with the budget where it's so computerized, like when he's running in the streets and everything. You got to use your imagination, but it is kind of where, and even in season 2, they're like, going up buildings and everything, and the budget's it's just computerized, like a PS2 game almost.
Yeah, but one thing people always forget to remember, and they don't even want to admit this, budget makes a big difference. Like when people see a bigger budget, some people won't watch it if it looks terrible.
Right.
Like Arrow compared to Flash, like graphic, see all the special effects. That's on a whole other level at times. At times it is. And some people see that, and some people they won't watch. It's like video games. Like I talk about this with gaming a lot in my videos of gaming. Like people want AAA. They don't want indie. A lot of people look at indie games and they're like, "What? What is this?" Like that's how people are. Majority of gamers, and they like to see that big AAA game like Grand Theft Auto 5. It's the same thing with TV. Like some people see a low budget movie, they'll always pick the higher budget movie. They won't watch. They'll call it trash. But then people like me and you that like movies, they'll watch the low budget movie too and the big budget movie. It don't matter.
Right.
But I'm not saying Arrow looks bad or like terrible or anything. It's just not on the level of Flash at times. You can see that.
Right.
But
Arrow doesn't have superpowers. It's just, it's more about story for Arrow than Flash. You got him running around like no one else can. So that's why 2 different shows. One's comedy, one's more dramatic. But yeah, but the budget. It's great. I'm not saying the Flash has bad effects. It's just there are noticeable moments like where it's really just everything. The whole screen is CGI, and it's you got to use your imagination.
It's a TV show too. Like that's another problem. Now, if Flash was in a movie, it'd be a big difference. Now, that's another thing people forget. This is a TV show. Like TV shows have never been like movies. Like very rarely. And you have a lot of people with the Sahara Chronicles right now. They're saying, "Oh, look at the budget for that." There's at times I look at that show and I could tell it's a TV, like it's made for TV. I'm saying it's not like Lord of the Rings quality. At times it can be, but not all the time. Right. But yeah, the Flash, I would say, budget wise is bigger. It is. I don't know why that is, or I guess like you said, maybe it's because he's more of a superhero. And they're doing, but then you could say, hey, Batman has a huge budget. Batman's, he don't do all kinds of, he's not he's not like running fast and all that stuff too.
Right.
So I like Arrow though. That got me into Arrow. Flash, I used to watch the series back in the day, like the old Flash. Now, what I thought with season 1, the more they showed of his father, I thought they were going to do some shit where his father was the Flash back in the day. I thought they were going to do that storyline of why, because going by when his mom gets killed, I thought his dad was involved in that because he might have been the Flash. I'm just thinking because I saw the old show back in the day, I thought that's what was going to go on, But, yeah. And another thing with Flash, too, I would say Arrow season 1 is just so good. Like Flash took time to get going. Like Flash does not start out like you're like sucked into it right away. Like Arrow, I was getting into it right away. Flash, it took me about 4 to 6 episodes to get going. What would you say? Or were you sucked in right away?
No, it took me time until I think when it started getting more mysterious of who the Reverse Flash is. Like, once the Reverse Flash, I think it's like episode 8 or 9, when they show the Reverse Flash and they're fighting in the football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That's really when it like picked up for me more. So it took like 7 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah, you have to give it a, because I remember when I first watched The Flash when it premiered. The first time I seen it, I didn't find any of the actors interesting. It was hard to get into anybody. And then when I saw Arrow, it took me to watch Arrow to get into that. That brought me to give Flash another chance. And once I gave Flash a chance, it was really good. Now my mom, she saw Arrow or Flash from the first episode and loved it to begin with.
Right.
You know, that was just me. I'm just going by me.
Yeah.
But I do like both of them now a lot. What things didn't you like about season 1 other than some of the CGI stuff?
There's one episode, I think it's like episode 4 or 5, and I still remember it. I didn't think it was a great episode, like, because he's episode 1, episode 2, like I said, it took like a while to get like invested into the story. But I'm not saying like episode 1, episode 2, yeah, they're good episodes, but there's that one episode that I hated. I think it was that girl. It was like episode 4 or 5 where she had like a power and she ended up drowning in the ocean or something. Her name was like started with a P, Plastique or something. It was like episode 5 of The Flash, and it was just I just remember like certain episodes where I wasn't into it. Like, I remember like, oh, this is great. The next week it's good. And then there was that one bad episode that just killed it for me, where I was like, they ruined their streak of good episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's not bad, but Captain Cold, he's a great addition in there. Captain Cold and Heatwave, they're great, even though they're so comic booky. Like, they're so bad that they're good. Like, really bad acting that it's so good.
You know what's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when they introduced them characters into season 1, and I watched the show after it aired. I watched it on Netflix.
Right.
Those two characters, Captain Cold and all them, or whatever they're called, those are the same guys from Prison Break, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so they're buddies. They must be buddies in real life.
Yeah, they are.
Because they're doing shows together, like different shows.
Yeah, and they're doing Legends of Tomorrow right now. So, and I haven't seen the Legends of Tomorrow this week, but I know that there was a part in this week's episode where there's like a prison break moment, and they were like, "Oh, you got to break out of this prison or whatever," and he's like, "We've done it before." Like, it was like an inside joke that Captain Cold made. Like, we've done this before. Mm-hmm. So that was just like funny. I mean, they're good actors. I mean, they're not bad actors, but I don't know, something about Captain Cold, the way he talks and the way that he does, it's so comic booky that it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just that one episode that I hated out of season 1. It was like Plastique or some girl, and that's when like the military got involved into the Flash. Also, Firestorm, he was barely used in season 1. He's misused a lot, which is Stephen Amell's cousin, the guy who plays Arrow. Robbie Amell is his cousin who plays Firestorm. You know, Firestorm was misused a lot. Yeah, I mean, not much bad things to say about season 1. It had a good storyline. Reverse Flash was awesome. The finale was awesome. I mean, it was a great ending to it, to where it picked up from season 2. So, not much to say bad about it.
All right. Yeah, one of my favorite things about this season, I like Grodd. that was cool with when he got Barry's other dad. What's his name?
Joe.
He got Joe, and he captured him, and he had the gun like pointing to his head, and you could see like even the gun to his head and Grodd in his face, like you could tell he was like scared to death. I don't know if he was scared about, like what was worse, him about to shoot himself and he had no control of that, or that big gorilla in his face. Like, and Grodd's such an interesting character. Now that I've been watching these things, my brother, he used to always be in the comic books. He had all the first issues of a lot of comic books, and my cousin stole them all. Like, he had one of the first, like all the important issues of certain things, like like the first time Fantastic Four was ever shown in a comic, like his shit like that. First X-Men, first Spawn, all that shit, stolen, gone. But he always knew a lot about comics, and Grodd's like a telepathic gorilla, but he gets really interesting as time goes on. You know, his character from this comic book series. So I can imagine what they're going to do with him with the show. Is he in season 2 yet? I'm not caught up on season 2, but they show Grodd again.
Yeah, there's a certain episode dedicated to him.
Okay, cool. I like Grodd. I think he's awesome. He's like one of my favorite villains of Flash.
Yeah, he's good.
Flash season 1 I thought was good. I thought it started out slow, but once it gets going, it's really good. My only downfall with it, some of the characters take some time to get used to, but once you get used to them, they're fine. I see what you're saying with how it looks kind of phony at times, but you gotta still at the same time, it's TV. That's a well-made for TV. They're doing pretty good. You know, they're doing a good job. That I don't have too many complaints with the Flash. It's like one of them shows where once you see an episode, you want to see the next one. They do a good. They do a good. I love how on the usually the end of every episode, they always have like something they show, like a cliffhanger or something new and that makes you want to watch the next episode. They're really good at doing that.
Yeah.
The only thing I have to complain about is how, you know, like same thing with Arrow. You know, these characters, everybody knows who they are. You know, like why are they telling everybody who they are? You know, it's like all these people know who they are, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. I liked Harrison Wells. The acting's really good once you get into the actors. I think I'm with you. Harrison Wells did a very good. The guy who plays him, the Reverse Flash, that character in general is awesome. I think it's just a great character. I like the villains. I like how I like the whole show. I'm trying because I'm watching the second season now, so I'm trying not to mix them up. I'm on like the 4th or 6th episode because the sand guy is introduced into the next episode, so I'm getting that a little mixed up. But yeah, I like everybody. I like Cisco, the other girl. All the characters are good. Everybody's interesting. You just have to give it time. That's all it is. I'm curious where it's gonna go. The whole series. I think it'll be like one of them series that runs for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
But if you had to rate first season of Flash from 1 to 10, what would you give it? The first season.
Oh, wow. I feel like I'm giving a lot of 9s. I'd probably give it probably an 8 out of 10. Roughly around there. I mean, it was. You know, I would say it was really good, great at times, but like I said, from episode 1 to episode 23, it's such a different show from the beginning to the middle to the end. They changed the pace a lot because when the first episode premieres and they're barely filming like 5 episodes in, like they change, if somebody doesn't like an episode, the writers are barely writing like episode 9 or something, so they change the tone of the show throughout the whole season because it's like 8 months of filming and everything. So like it started off good, and then I remember there was parts of the Flash where I was kind of about, but really the Reverse Flash and a great villain to start off, honestly, very great villain. That's where it picked up for me more. So there were a few episodes where I was like, So I would say it was great, and the Reverse Flash made it great, but I think it's just really good. So an 8 out of 10.
Okay, and I'm gonna give it a 9 because I do see what you're coming from. I mean, but I have to give it a 9. I think they did a good job on that show.
Yeah.
Like if I was to score, like if I was to go with Arrow, like season 1 and then the 2, I would give like the first season. Like with Arrow, well, we'll do an Arrow discussion another time. This is the Flash, and we'll save it for that. But I give this one a 9. I do see where you're coming from, where your score. Now let's get into The Walking Dead, season 6 mid-season premiere. It was a great episode. It was probably should have been the mid-season finale, I would think, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
This was everything that people wanted to see with the finale, but they saved it for the fucking premiere. So that's pretty cool. let me just run down what I thought was really cool, and then you can go. One thing I really liked that the only thing that really surprised me in this episode that I didn't see coming
Right.
was the whole thing with when the Negan's group was pretty much they were going to shoot Abraham. I thought they were going to shoot Abraham. I did not expect Daryl to shoot the RPG and blow him off. That was like the best scene of the episode, period. I love that. I love the whole thing with the kid getting eaten, which a lot of people thought that was going to happen last episode. And the girl, and I loved how that happened. That went down, and I liked when Rick went nuts and freaked out. I thought that was really cool. And then I liked the thing with the girl that one of the crazy guy. What was the guy with the W on his head or whatever took hostage? I like that. Yeah. That was really cool. Those are the scenes that really stood out, and of course, Carl losing his eye. Yeah. What was your thoughts of what you liked on this episode?
I mean, yeah, it was a lot of great things. Definitely the opening with Negan's group exploding. That for sure puts Daryl as my #1 contender again for Negan killing him at the end of the season. Because, well, once Negan finds out his men are dead, he's going to want to find out who did it. And once he finds out Daryl did it, he's going to definitely get payback for what Daryl did. So that definitely puts them more even in worse of the place. But that was awesome. I knew they were going to do that because I read in the comic books they like ended up killing those guys real quickly, the Negan's group. So like I didn't know it was going to be with the RPG. I really kind of wish the RPG would have been saved, like Negan got his hands on it or something. But they did that. That was interesting. There was a few boring things to the episode. Like it was great episode, but there was one of those slow scenes where when Rick and them were talking and like they were like, okay, we got to get Judith to a safe place, and Gabriel was like, all right, give me Judith. That's kind of where it got slowed for me, and it's like a 2-minute scene, but it just slowed down, and I was kind of like bored, like, oh, like just sitting there.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I'm not just saying you. Like, nowadays, not much holds people's interest. Like, once something hits a little dull part, I'm not saying just you or anything, but I'm just saying in general. Like, people get bored quick. I mean, you should know that by doing YouTube. Like, if you do a video, you could tell what holds people's interest and what don't, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just have to say that. I mean, I understand what you're coming from, though. It was a scene which, you know, did they need to really do that? But they were actually showing you, you know, hey, they're maybe giving that guy a chance again, the preacher dude.
Yeah.
They're going to give him a shot again. Because Rick is giving him his fucking baby to go hold it. Like, that's a big risk.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand, like, the whole thing about the scene. But, I mean, it's weird that Judith is not, like, crying or anything. Or
yeah, I thought that was strange, too. I thought she was going to cry, make it a little interesting, but she didn't. She's a calm baby during a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. And she's able to breathe under the thing somehow. I don't know how she could do that, but yeah, that's where it slowed down in a sort of sense. And like, cause it started great, and then like it had that pacing, and then it kind of, and then showing Eugene in the garage, and like him all like scared with a machete, and it kind of those little slow scenes there with the small characters. But
he became a man at the end of the episode.
Yeah, you know, he was in Gabriel going outside too, which kind of leaving Judith. I know, I mean, there's people in the church, but I mean, he's
yeah, he leaves Judith. He just goes out there to start whacking zombies too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that was, and we didn't get to see him go into the church or get there, but apparently there's a group there waiting for him.
Rick's probably turns around to him. He's like, Where's Judith? Just fucking whacks him in the head.
Because like Rick would see Gabriel in the street, and then he'd be wondering where his baby is and everything, and that's what I was thinking the whole time during there. The wolf part, that was interesting because we were I wasn't saying he was totally changed. He wasn't. I don't think he was going to change completely, but he was kind of caring for that girl at the end, because once he knew he was bit, I think he kind of already knew that like my time's running out. And then Carol shot him in the chest 2 times, and basically like, I'm dead already. But he could have grabbed the girl and got her killed, but he ended up saving her life and like getting the zombie and saying to run. So that was something of like, oh, change of heart. Not completely. He was still like a douche at the end, or a bad person, but still. He didn't let the girl die. I was really thinking that doctor was going to die, but she ended up escaping. I don't know why I wasn't really interested in this part. I mean, I was interested, but like when Sam was dying and Jesse and Rick was just standing there, and he was like, "No, no," saying like that, and like, which it was funny seeing the kid die getting bit, but like it was so the pacing of it, like he was just standing there and the zombies just grab him, and then the mom's standing there and then they just grab her, and like nobody's doing anything because they don't want to like get attention to them, but they're just kind of standing there. And I thought that was interesting when he was seeing the flashbacks of Jesse and then he cut off her arm and everything. That was interesting. But when they shot Rick or Carl's eye out, Carl did not make one sound whatsoever. He didn't, I'm assuming if you get your eye shot out, you would either make like a gasp or like a grunt or something, or you'd be like saying ow. Like you'd be complaining about he was in shock, but I'm just saying, like with his eye shot out, you'd be probably screaming or something.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. It would have been a little bit different. But then you had like Breaking Bad when he walked out and fixed his eye and his eye was missing.
Yeah.
So well, I mean, they do make it for TV, but I too agree with you. I think he would be like screaming bloody murder or something.
Yeah, yeah. But again, like it's TV. But that was interesting. Again, Rick, there was that whole montage where all the characters were killing, like they had the machetes, like every character they were showing them killing the zombies, and then ended with Rick with a machete. That was awesome. Daryl saving the day, Abraham. I mean, Glenn, I don't know how Glenn did not get shot one time, like with a machine gun. He did not get shot one time. It took Glenn the whole episode to get to Maggie. I don't know why he just didn't save her right in the beginning. That scene with Enid in the church too, there's a whole point to it. Like, he was telling her, you are who you are, whatever, you're doing this for your family. I get that. But then when you take like 3-4 minutes out of time to do that, and it's kind of slow and, but Maggie saved, I don't know why she just didn't jump over the fence and go around. Just little things like that. Daryl doing the Lake of Fire. That was pretty cool. I mean, it took a whole episode to kill all of the zombies, which was awesome because that means Alexandria's back to them. But now they have to rebuild, and then, I mean, all that stuff. But I thought it was a great, start to the second half of the season. Now we're going to hear more about Negan. That's a great thing because we're going to meet a new character, I think, either this week or next week, which is the Jesus character. And once we meet him, he'll take us to the Hilltop community, and then we'll hear about Negan, and then we'll get introduced and all that. Like, so this is finally it. Like, we're getting caught up to the comics. We're like still like 50 issues behind, but I mean, we're getting finally to the interesting part. But I don't know, the way that Jesse was killed and everything, I just kind of felt, I was just sitting there when she was getting eaten alive, and I was like, what's going to happen, so you really don't have much of a, like, okay, she's being killed off, whatever. But it was, it was interesting, definitely, for sure. Everyone's saying, I've been hearing a lot of reviews saying this is the greatest Walking Dead episode of the whole series. And I don't know how. It's a great premiere, mid-season premiere, but I don't see how it's the greatest episode of the whole series out of the whole 6 seasons. That I can't see. I mean, I could see it's the top 5 best, but not the number 1. But that's, people's opinions. And
yeah, I wouldn't go as far as best season premiere or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Echo.
Yeah, there's a little echo.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't say it's as great as, I wouldn't say it's the greatest episode ever, but it was good. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a way to open a season to a show. Like, they did a good job, but it was a lot of stuff that people knew was going to happen, but it was still good seeing it all take place.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm so basically with Carl now, if you know anything about the comic books, he becomes like a badass, I guess.
Well, I mean, hopefully they do it like they really went page to page in the comics to the TV show this time, which I haven't read the issues of the comics yet of this part, but I know from reading online and everything. But either they make him a badass, or else he's like permanently damaged in the brain, or I mean, the bullet didn't go inside his eye; it like ricocheted off the side. They talked about that on The Talking Dead, where his eye, like, it didn't go inside the brain; it just like bounced off, and his eye's gone now, like the shrapnel. So,
what do you think of Carl as a character? Do you like the guy that plays Carl?
Yeah, Chandler Riggs. I mean, he's good. I mean, he's fine. I don't hate Carl. I mean, early on in the seasons, Carl was sort of annoying, and like Carl's out of the house all the time and all that stuff, you know. But I could see him. I mean, he's becoming a little badass. I mean, he's responsible enough where he's like his dad. He's trying to be like his dad, you know. Which he's like supposed to be 14 years old, and the guy's like almost 18 or something, and you know, it's almost like that where the actor's growing up, and you know he's only supposed to be 13 or something. So that's something else. But I like him. He's not childish really. He's responsible. You know, he knows how to handle a gun. Like when he killed that human in season 3 at the prison. Like he's not afraid he'll shoot someone, and he'll get the job done, sort of thing. So I think he's an interesting character. I don't want to see him go or die. I really think I could see him go on a little bit more. But now that he has his eye out, he's like a mini governor. I mean,
he's like a mini governor. It's like, I don't know. It took me a long time to get to the character that the person that you said his name is
Chandler Riggs.
Yeah. I just wasn't buying him for a very long time, and I'm still kind of not. I understand it's Carl, you know, it's him. It is what it is, but that's one character I always found very hard to get into is Carl. It's just at times he's very annoying, but I hope they change. I hope his character starts changing and getting more better. Glenn is, for me, Glenn's getting better again. I was at a point with Glenn where I was ready to just hope he was eaten at the dumpster, but he's better now. Daryl, I think just like Daryl, they don't know what to do with. Maybe that's what it is. Like Daryl's just like, they don't know what to do with his character. It just seems like, right? What is that? Do you feel that with Daryl's character?
No, it's true. Again, since he wasn't in the comic books, they really don't know what to give him, like a purpose. But like Norman Reedus said, you're going to see more Daryl these next 8 episodes. So that's why I'm feeling he's going to end up dying at the end of the season, because they're going to be more heavy base. And you even see in the promo that Daryl and Rick are going to go hunting or scavenging. So we're going to see more Daryl, but there's really not much to give him. I mean, he doesn't have his crossbow, right? I don't even think he has his crossbow anymore.
So he's he lost his iconic crossbow, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. I could see Daryl dying at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just not much to give him anymore. I think they've given him all the good stuff over the past years. I mean, Daryl is a really good character, but they just kind of been wasting him the whole season 6.
But do you think the fans would outrage if Daryl was to die? Like, especially the girls that like him?
Oh, yeah. That's what I want. I want that to happen. I want to see, you know, if Daryl dies, we riot, all that stuff. You know, imagine, like, if they kill him the last second of season 6 and it ends on a cliffhanger, his head's bashed in, and you have to wait.
So, like, hold on, guys. In season 7, we're just going to put his head back together and glue it, and he'll be alive again. Don't worry. Like, if he does get killed, he better not come back from that, because that's just getting retarded. Because I know there's so many people that sat there and went on about how Glenn got eaten. They're like, oh, well, you didn't see him getting eaten. Sorry, there was a million zombies on him. He should have been ate. Should have been done. Right. But you know, it is what it is. Now going back to the whole scene with the doctor and the guy with the W on his head.
Right.
What about that scene? Did you enjoy that scene?
I mean, a little bit when they were running to the ladder. I mean, they were in that area wherever they were, like, sitting and watching the zombies walk by. They were like in a little stairway downstairs. They were in some area. I guess they were waiting there all day because it was like sunlight and then it was nighttime or whatever. So why not? And when he got bit and everything, you know, I was, you know, I really, you knew the guy was going to die somehow, because I didn't want them to make that story forever, because the wolf guy, that's so old. That was like season 6, episode 1 stuff. You know, that's an old storyline already. I'm surprised they even made him live. Like the mid-season finale, when he got the nurse and they went outside and everything, I'm like, really? They're gonna stretch that story out. And when he got his arm bit, I was thinking like, oh, like, yeah, they didn't know what to do with the storyline. They were like, all right, we're gonna get the guy and he's gonna take her outside of the Alexandria. All right, just whatever, bite him, kill him. So I was just kind of like back and forth, but I did like how, because I don't know, he's psychotic, because the way he was talking to her and looking at her, he was like he's a sick guy. But yet, then he's like all loving, and I don't know whether it's like psychotic love or whether it's, I don't know what was going on with his character, but I didn't hate everything that happened. I just thought it was kind of like, okay, run to the ladder. Oh, he got his arm bit. Now we have to go back. So we waited all day, and then we have to go back. And now Carol shoots him 2 times. And I mean, it was just such a wasted day for those characters, really, if they were just waiting there and then he gets shot 2 times. And then eaten alive. I mean, and then Morgan sees his zombified character, and then basically you're thinking to yourself, that whole Morgan storyline was such wasted, just because the guy's a zombie now, and you know, just wasted wasted storyline. All that story of Morgan trying to change him, and then he's already changed to a zombie. I mean, it just fell apart. Everything just kind of just fell for Morgan's character, and it wasn't the worst part of the episode. I did like the wolf guy, and I actually saw him on Talking Dead. He's, I think, British or Australian. I think he's British, the guy who plays the wolf. And he's very nice. So I don't know, whatever. Just, I didn't hate the whole scene with him and the girl, but it kind of, again, just fell apart. Like, they ran to the ladder, he got bit, whatever, you know. They were so close to the ladder, too. They could have escaped Alexandria, but he got bit. So.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on all this. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a really good episode. There was some parts in it that I thought, were kind of, why'd they do what they did? But for the most part, it was a good season premiere, I thought. I thought they did a great job on the premiere. I do think, though, I will go back and say I think this should have been the finale of, the mid-season, but they used it for premiere. Now, going forward, it should be interesting, like how they, lead up to Negan.
Right.
It'll be interesting. What would you score this episode if you had to score it from 1 to a 10?
I'd give it a 9 out of a 10, because I gave it an A-, which would be a 9 out of a 10.
Mm-hmm.
It was great mid-season. I mean, like everyone was saying, it should have been the mid-season finale. I don't know what was up with that mid-season finale. The whole Deanna and it was just such a wasted opportunity.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
9 out of 10.
I'm with you. I'm giving out 9s today. It was a 9 out of 10. I don't think anything today was a 10 out of 10, but it was definitely a 9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Now, for me to give something a 10 out of 10, it has to be really good. Like the OJ thing, the first episode, that was a 10 out of 10 for me. Mm-hmm. But, the rest of them, I did my review today. I can't remember what I scored it, but have you been covering the whole OJ thing, or have you seen all of them?
No, I've uploaded the 2 reviews already, episode 1 and episode 2, but I haven't seen the 3rd episode yet.
Okay, yeah, I just did my review for the 3rd one. That's a hard show to review because there's so much stuff to cover. Some reviews, like today, the review I did, I just talked about what happened and what the episode was mainly about. I didn't go into detail on everything, because if I did that, it'd be like a 30-minute video.
Right.
But yeah, I did that. So far, what you've seen of the series, would you agree with me? The first episode sets like a high bar to the second.
Yeah.
Which one did you like better, the first episode or second episode?
I like the second episode better.
Oh, okay, so you didn't like the first. You didn't like it as much.
No,
Okay.
I gave the first episode an A minus, but I gave the second one an A
Okay.
because something about the second episode, the whole Bronco chase and the emotion inside, and it was just more enjoyable.
Okay. All right. So it's different. Yeah. I just think the first episode did such a great job.
Yeah.
Opening the series, and I felt it's like it's not the Bronco episode's good and the new one's good, but I just don't think they're on the level of the first one.
Right.
It is a hard series to review if you're going to do a bunch of spoilers, which I'm trying not to do in my reviews. I'm trying to keep away from that, but it's so hard not. That's such a hard show not to spoil stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little late on that review. I meant to do that review Tuesday, but I'm now just done with it. So I'll have it uploaded after the podcast or sometime tonight. Sometime tonight. Anything else you want to talk about? Or how is the Better Call Saul? Did that do good for the season 2 premiere?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Better Call Saul. Yeah, it did great. Yeah, it's not amazing, but it did. I gave it I think an A minus. Yeah, I gave it an A minus. It was great start. It showed after the Breaking Bad, where he's at Cinnabon again. It showed stuff like that. It had a great opening. And then just something about it again, it had that Better Call Saul feeling. But like I said, season 1 it started great, and then it just ended up going down and down and down. So that's what I fear. What's going to happen again in season 2? It's great. The first few episodes are awesome, and then it just kind of goes down and declines. But yeah, it had a great acting. I mean, Jimmy McGill, aka Saul Goodman, Bob Odenkirk, the actor who plays him, he's awesome. It's a lot of funny moments in here. The directing again is like that Breaking Bad style, which I'm signature style. So glad they kept that. It's just it's not bad. I really thought it was a great start, and I heard that the ratings were low. The ratings were really low, and I'm thinking to myself, well, now probably break. I mean, no one's really watching Better Call Saul because everything's on Monday night. There's a bunch of different shows, and there really wasn't much promotion for Better Call Saul. They're not really putting so much promotion out there on the internet, and I feel like it's just going to be a failed show where it just kind of gets canceled or
it's not
dies off.
Not the level of Breaking Bad. That's the problem, man. That's what it was like. It's not as bad as Sons of Anarchy going to the Bastard Executioner. It's not that bad, but it's kind of in that area. People want Breaking Bad, and Saul is Breaking Bad, but it's not Breaking Bad, if that makes sense. And
yeah, but if they keep on going, like they said, that we could see a Walter White cameo or Jesse Pinkman cameo if it gets renewed or if it keeps us. So people keep on watching. We'll get that Breaking Bad introduction. You just gotta wait.
There's a problem though with it. Where's Sal gonna go? Is it gonna rely on Breaking Bad to get it there, or where's the show gonna go? Sal has to become its own show. That has to. I'm saying it can't be relying on past characters of Breaking, because that's what it's the only reason people are watching it right now. It's got to form its own show.
Right.
Does that make sense? Or
it does. It makes sense.
But yeah, that's the only thing so you said the opening wasn't good for it?
No, it was great.
No, but I'm saying the rating wise, it didn't do good.
Oh yeah, the ratings. No, it was low.
Oh, okay. Because the first episode was the first season, the first episode that was huge.
Oh yeah, the ratings were very huge. Almost where it was saying it's the highest AMC, but then a lot of shows are like that. Fear the Walking Dead, highest rating show, and then X-Files came back, highest rating show. So there's a lot of rating. A lot of shows out there that get the highest rating, but then it gets toppled by other shows. So.
Now, I did see the first episode of the X-Files. It's good. But my problem always with the X-Files, man, is Agent Scully, that she can't act. She's horrible actor. She has that blank look. Mulder, are we going to go do it? Like
Yeah.
that's just that it's not she's not a good actor. But I mean I understand people love the X-Files, but she was such a horrible actor.
She was good in Hannibal.
She was in Hannibal.
She was in Hannibal. She's the blonde, her wife of Hannibal.
Oh yeah. She was good in there, but as Scully, I don't know what's going on. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Let me think. She still had that. Yeah, but she worked in that show for what that was. Like her as like a main lead, it's not doing it. It's just I don't know. That's just me though. But I won't say the first episode of the X-Files, I did get to see it. I don't know if I'll get to see the rest because I have so much other stuff I'm watching. It wasn't bad. It's actually pretty good. I will give it that. But I'm just watching so many shows. The Sahara Chronicles, American Crime Story. I'm watching The Outsiders, Shameless. The list goes on. You know, it's just so many shows. I'm watching The Flash, trying to catch up with that. I'm trying to catch up on Arrow. It's just too much, you know. But yeah, I think we're gonna come to a close today because I got a little bit of stuff to do. I got stuff I have to unfortunately do right now. I had fun talking today. I hope everybody enjoyed the podcast. Thank you, Daniel, as usual.
Always a pleasure.
I do appreciate you joining. Next week we'll be back for sure. Hopefully next week. Trying to think what we cover next week. Most likely The Walking Dead again. I want to cover. What else is there? Wasn't there something else that was coming on TV? There's other shows starting up too. What shows are starting up soon? Other than what's on now? I know Hotel is one of them. But what's?
No, Gotham returns in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Gotham will be returning. We'll have to talk about that premiere. What other ones that? Empire will be starting soon.
Yeah, in March.
Game of Thrones. I don't know if you're a fan of that. I love it.
I just don't have HBO.
Oh, just you got man. I just caught up on it. Like I didn't watch it from get go, and I just I caught up on it. I caught up on it now. Like I watched it this past summer. Watched it all in one shot. all the seasons. It's so good, man. I'm not spoiling anything, but they have a scene in this show that somebody gets something. Again, I don't even want to give it away, but they do that. If anybody's watching the show with a king, they know what I'm talking about. It's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a TV show. And it's so believable. It's just like they make you. It looks real. You're like, what? You're like, did that just really happen? It's cool.
No. I know what you're talking about.
I'm telling you, somehow get a hold of Game of Thrones. I don't know what you got to do to do it, but you will love it. If you like Breaking Bad, this show is your show.
Yeah,
that's how good it is. And I'm not just saying that. Like Game of Thrones is a really good show, man. It took me a long time to watch it. You know, and one day I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a chance. Everybody's saying this is so good, and it is. It's very good. It's one of the best shows ever made, I would say.
Right. Yeah.
Hands down, hands down. It's got a little bit of everything in it. You got prostitution to fucking dragons. You got everything. It's all in there.
I own the first 4 seasons, so I know.
You have seen seen Game of Thrones.
I'm up to season 4. Yeah.
Okay, so I thought you didn't see the season at all, but did you see the? Was that on there? So you just didn't see the last season, right?
Yeah, I know, but I already know the spoilers because I read reviews.
So you saw when they poisoned King Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey. Yeah,
that was Joffrey, whatever his name is. That was awesome. That was so cool, and he deserved it. He deserved it big time.
Yeah, it was.
He was terrible. They make you like really hate that dude. Like, but that's a good show. I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said you didn't see it at all. I thought you didn't see it at all.
I even have a poster. It's the top one right there, the black one. It's just with all the faces and heads. Yeah. No, but it's.
Can you not get HBO Go or something or no?
Money wise?
How much is HBO Go? I'm just curious. Like, is it like Netflix? Do they charge something like that for it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I thought HBO Go, you have to have HBO. Like,
I thought you could get it separately because I remember looking on my PlayStation. It says I can get Showtime, and I don't have to have. I can stream Showtime.
I think you'd have to have the account of Showtime.
Oh, okay, I thought. Okay, well, yeah, okay, maybe you do. I thought you could get separate by now, but who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought you didn't see the show at all. But yeah, it's the last season was good. It's just such a good show. It's a really good show. I like it. The Sahara Chronicles. Did you not check that out yet?
I only recorded the first 3 episodes and then I kind of forgot to record. I mean, I'll check out the first 3 episodes, but I haven't got to it yet.
That's a show if you like Lord of the Rings or something like. It's kind of like a little bit like Game of Thrones, but it is good. I like it, but I wouldn't say it's as great as everybody says so far. It's getting there. It's picking up as time goes on. It has the guy from that plays Deathstroke and plays the guy in Spartacus. He's in it, and he's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good. But that's the episode, guys. I know I'm rambling on. More movie Tweaker episodes to come. Thank you, team.